Hello again, everyone. In this video, we'll still be under lists and we'll go through jobs. So why are we only going through accounts and jobs in the lists? We could touch on other ones such as activities, items, cost centers, and tax codes later, but I want to focus mainly on accounts and jobs because those are the ones we would regularly use. So what's a job in MYOB? Jobs in MYOB are actually a very helpful function that lets us categorize MYOB transactions into different subcategories. For example, we can categorize transactions per department, whether the transaction is for finance, accounting, operations, HR, admin, or marketing. We can also categorize transactions per location, say per country, per province, or per state. We can also categorize transactions per product. We can allocate transactions across multiple products. We can also allocate transactions per different persons if you want to categorize each transaction per person. But where we work, we regularly categorize transactions per project. We allocate each transaction to a specific project so that we can then pull out a report for profit and loss or for balance sheets for each project. When you are in jobs, you'll normally see these transactions under the jobs list. Similar to account codes, when you're trying to create a job, there is always a header and detailed level. The header is a group of multiple detailed jobs, and you cannot use a header job when you're entering transactions in MYOB, but you can use detailed jobs to categorize transactions in MYOB. You've got a job number in here. If you want to put a job number, you can use multiple numbers, or you can also use words. It doesn't necessarily mean numbers. You can use words such as in here, like an acronym, for example, South America or North America, or an acronym of a specific project, or a combination of multiple countries, or for example, you might want to use accounting, finance, or marketing. When you create a header job code, that's the code that other job codes will sit under as subcodes. You can see in here we have a header code of EMPHAT, and we only have that one in this file, but in other MYOB files that we have for the organization, there are different job codes. You can have the job number, which makes it easy for you to find the job you're looking for when you're entering a transaction. But you also need to put a job name. It's also good to fill up all these details because all those details will be necessary for you in terms of reporting. If you want to try to create job codes, you can always create job codes and deactivate them if you're not going to use them. It can be a number, a combination of numbers, or a combination of words and numbers. It's up to you. You can also create budgets per specific job code, but as I've said, MYOB's budgeting function is very limited. After that, in here, you can actually edit job codes. You can also print a list of job codes. When you look at this function, you can see the job number, the name of the job, the income, the expense, and the not-for-profit. This is not on a yearly basis. This is over the lifetime of the job in MYOB. So all the categories that were used in the general ledger under income for that job code will be added in here. And all the categories under expense will be added in here, and you'll see your net profit or loss, not for a specific year, but for the whole life of the job in MYOB. We actually use this to identify whether there is income or a loss for a specific project, monitoring the project on a monthly basis. This is very helpful as a quick snapshot of whether there is a profit or loss for a specific project. Now, when you go through your MYOB business, you can find the job codes under accounting. When you scroll down, you can see your categories, manage linked categories, and then jobs. Similar to account, right? You can create a job in here. It's almost the same function without the budgeting. So very similar. You get the job number, the job name, the linked account. But if you notice, there are no sub-job codes in here, and there are no header or detailed job codes. Those functions you can only find in MYOB account, right? Okay guys, see you in the next video.